you had the kids from the library.
Yes. How you doing, Chief?
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Good. That's it, I got my
I have a net one, so I'm gonna put this right.
Hey Alan, how are you? Good. How are you?
So how you been? Life's good? Was there any kiddies you were? Saw you in church? You know? I always see you in church. You have such a delicate way of just going into the pews. On the left side, right? Just show you how you're on the left side. Oh, why don't you now? Oh, yeah.
Say, Chief. Hey, how are you?
You got to.
You need that moving voice.
With a lot of respect. That was my school. The old, did you not say that? Where? That school? I love that school. Probably for all the wrong reasons, but I love that school. I had it for 8th grade. She was a nasty lady. We did a whole lot of stuff for those. Boys would be boys. Anyway, how are kiddies? Hi, George. And that, it's right on your chair. It's right on your chair. All right.
You're looking very, very nice. What?
I have a speech.
I won't be able to photograph me, right? From way back.
You're on there.
Every day is good.
Yeah.
You gotta make it if it's adults doing it, if adults were gonna have a. You gotta go.
I can make you by talking to you about shade tree.
you have to hold that position.
Yes, we got it. Oh, okay. We got
When he's
it.
gone, then we can fire somebody to get him in there.
Yep.
I say, I told him, I said.
Yes, we got it, yep. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, come back. Otherwise, for Heather to.
What? No. Every single light changed against me.
Good evening. Time is 6:30 p.m. The regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold for May 1st, 2023 is now called to order. Notice of the time, date, and location of this meeting was provided at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of this meeting pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 31 of the laws of 1975, the Open Public Meetings Act. I'd like to ask everyone, please stand for the salute to the flag, followed by a moment of silence. Chief Dispenza, please lead us. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Kane.
Here.
Councilman DeBenedetto.
Here.
Councilwoman Jordan. Here. Councilman Reich.
Here.
Councilwoman Rogers. Here. Councilman Schnur.
Here.
Councilwoman Schultz. Yes, here.
Okay, again, good evening. You'll notice a couple things are different here tonight. First, I'd like to ask everybody to turn around. You see the beautiful murals depicting scenes from Freehold's history. These were taken from the old Borough Hall. They were originally done in 1976 by Winnie Smart, and we moved them over here, and they were expanded by local artist Leslie Daly. Second, you'll notice the camera over here to my left. As of tonight, we're going to be live streaming Borough Council meetings on our Facebook page, the entire meeting. So now anybody with internet connection can see exactly what we do here, not just the incomplete and selectively edited versions that appear online these days. But what's not changing is the way we conduct our meetings. Borough Council meetings are business meetings designed to transact publicly and civilly the official business of the borough. The end of each meeting has always been reserved for public comments and council comments. A forum to make statements and offer information, not a forum to debate issues. Plenty of opportunities for residents to engage directly with the governing body, discussion items on the meeting agenda, public hearings about ordinance changes, as well as individual emails and phone calls. We have always prided ourselves here on conducting the public's business in a civil manner, and we will continue to do that. Okay, moving on to our agenda. Item 4 this evening, the approval of minutes from council meeting April 17, 2023.
I'd like to move those minutes, please.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilperson DeBenedetto. Jordan. Yes. Reich.
Yes.
Rogers. Yes. Schnur.
Yes.
Schutzer. Yes.
Okay, the minutes of the council meeting of April 17, 2023 are approved. Item 5 is the second reading public hearing ordinance 2023/19, amending and fixing determining salaries of certain officers, positions, and employees of the Borough of Freehold. This is the second reading public hearing. I'd like to open it up to the public. If anyone from the public here to entertain anything in relation to this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Seeing no comment from the public, I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson DeBenedetto.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers. Yes. Schnur.
Yes.
Schutzer.
Yes.
Okay, the public portion is closed. We have a resolution adopting ordinance 2023/19 and authorization of publication.
I'll offer that.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson DeBenedetto.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers. Yes. Schnur.
Yes.
Schutzer.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2023/19 is adopted. Item 6 is a reintroduction of ordinance 23/18 to amend and supplement Title 5 Business Licenses and Regulations, the Code of the Borough of Freehold.
I'll move that.
Second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson DeBenedetto.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers. Yes. Schnur.
Yes.
Schutzer.
Yes.
The ordinance 2023/18 is introduced. Item 7 is the first reading and introduction ordinance 2023/20 to amend and supplement Title 10 Vehicles and Traffic of the Code of the Borough of Freehold.
I'll move that, please.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, there will be stop signs installed at Ford and Lloyd to make it an all-way stop, to make it safer in that neighborhood for the residents.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson DeBenedetto.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers. Yes. Schnur.
Yes.
Schutzer.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2023/2020 is introduced. Item 8 is a resolution authorizing an amendment to the 2023 annual budget of the Borough of Freehold. I'd like to move that.
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay, by law, we have to read this into the record. Borough of Freehold Amendment to 2023 municipal budget, whereas the local municipal budget for year 2023 was approved on the 3rd day of April 2023, whereas the public hearing on said budget has been held as advertised, and whereas it's necessary to amend said budget. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold County, Monmouth, that the following amendments to the budget for 2023 be made. So we have general revenues in the current fund, number 3, miscellaneous revenue, section A, local revenue, license, other, from $49,500 to $48,627.45. Total section A, local revenues, $933,136 to $932,263.45. Section D, special items of general revenue anticipated with prior written consent to the Director of Local Government Services, shared service agreements, offset with appropriations. Special Improvement District Downtown Freehold shared labor from $29,000 to $29,872.55. Total section D, shared service agreements, offset with appropriations, $69,500 to $70,372.55. Summary of revenues, total section A, local revenues, $933,136 to $932,263.45. Total section D, special items of general revenue anticipated with prior written consent of the Director of Local Government Services, shared service agreements from $69,500 to $70,372.55. Be it further resolved that 2 certified copies of this resolution must be filed with the Director of the Division of Local Government Services for approval. Okay, we already had this moved in second. Any discussion on that?
Yes, all of these changes are very minor, less than $1,000.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers? Yes. Schnurr?
Yes.
Stetser?
Yes.
Okay, resolution is adopted for the amendment for the 2023 annual budget of the Borough of Freehold. That being said, we have a note from the Division of Community Affairs that your municipality's budget review process has been completed. You may adopt your 2023 budget pending successful passing of the amending resolution as presented in draft form to the division. This is dated Monday, April 24th, 2023, so we have approval to adopt the budget. Okay, another new thing we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be doing a presentation of the budget. Hopefully our technology doesn't fail us, right, Steve? But we're going to go through this. It's just going to give a general overview on how everything works. And at the end of this, we're going to open it up for the public hearing. So, okay, go. Apologize for only having one TV. It's something we found out today that something burned out in that TV. So, it's a basic breakdown of the tax breakdown for the Borough of Freehold. So for every dollar that you pay, 39% goes to Freehold Borough, 34% goes to the Borough School District, 15% goes to the Regional High School District, 10% goes to the county, and 2% goes to the public library. Okay. The Freehold Borough's 2023 budget is comprised of 3 separate funds. We have our current fund, which is $19,300,000. $586,014.74. We have a water and sewer utility, which is $653,458.74. And we have a parking utility, which is $331,136. It's the current fund and appropriation revenue. So overall, pursuant to the New Jersey State Statute, the 2023 proposed budget is below both the appropriations cap and the levy cap. The proposed tax rate for municipal purposes only is calculated to be 0.815 cents per $100 of assessed valuation. This breaks down for home assessed at the borough average of $378,359.67. This represents an annual increase of $138.93. Breaks down to $11.58 a month increase. Inflation continues to be an issue, with year-over-year increases of 5% from March 2022 to March 2023. This presented a significant challenge to the preparation of our 2023 budget. Our future planning includes maintaining stability in our fund balance, and after December 31st, 2024, when the 2023 appropriations will lapse. Our budget preparation also considers our ability to regenerate our fund balance, anticipated as a revenue in our budget. And our 2023 budget anticipates the creation of new recurring sources of revenue, such as legal cannabis sales tax and new redevelopment. Okay, expenditures, so budget terms appropriations. Debt service payments in the 2023 budget increased from $1,076,750 to $1,479,050, or $402,300. Increased 37% as a result of higher interest rates and new debt issued in 2022, primarily to fund the purchase of property and related improvements, along with renovations to our library and improvements to our parks, public roads, and public utilities. Fuel costs increased by 25% due to instability in petroleum prices. New Jersey State Health benefit costs have increased from $1,824,198 to $2,093,118, or a 14.74% increase. Mandatory state pension appropriations increase as follows. PERS, which is Public Employee Retirement System, increased by 7.88%, or $22,025. The PFRS, which is Police and Fire, increased by 8.14%, or $84,221. These increases are passed down by the state and beyond our local control. The appropriation for reserve for uncollected taxes has been increased from $982,114.52 to $1,003,092, using a 96.8% collection rate. Okay, current fund appropriations can be broken down into the following categories. Salary and wages is $6,802,175. Other expenses are $6,809,591.20. Statutory charges are $1,662,148.35. Library, $463,182. State and federal grants, $1,241,775.91. Capital and debt service, $1,604,050. And reserve for uncollected taxes, $1,003,092.28. Okay. Question we always get, so what are other expenses? And you can see, the costs that are necessary to run a day-to-day operation. You can see them up there. I'll go through them anyway. Supplies, equipment, printing, postage, legal notices, attorneys, uniforms, consultants, computers, engineering, property inspections, vehicle expenses, emergency repairs, utilities, telephones, street lighting, custodial services, debt service, interlocal agreements, municipal court, website, insurance, celebration of public events, Board of Health, garbage removal, recycling, shade tree commission, tree planting, recreation, summer camp, DPW costs, fire department, police department, snow removal, and emergency response. Okay, just some points, some brief points on revenue. 2023 municipal budget anticipates $2,750,000 from the fund balance. The 2022 municipal budget anticipated $2,050,000 from the fund balance. The increase of $700,000 was enabled as a result of 2022 operations. Basically, fund balance, or also known as surplus, is a sign that the government is managing its finances efficiently. The borough anticipates continued regeneration of surplus used. The borough is using 48% of its fund balance in support of the 2023 budget in order to keep tax increases well below the current rate of inflation. Surplus, our taxpayer dollars, this is really explains it. Taxpayer dollars previously collected that, when utilized, buffer the impact of inflation and state mandated expenses which are passed through us outside of our control. Basically what we're doing through this is we're minimizing the impact of budgetary pressures going forward by just supplementing this with recurring sources of revenue. The borough is anticipating new sources of this recurring revenue, including local tax revenue and fees from legal cannabis sales, new ratables from the hometown redevelopment area and other projects, and the relocation of expenses to the parking utility. The borough received a slight increase in state aid, $8,647 that is anticipated in our 2023 proposed budget, along with additional funding received of $65,252.64 through the municipal relief fund. Current fund revenues can be broken down into the following categories. Okay, you see the top one is the amount to be raised by taxes. For a municipal library, it's $12,604,129.93. You have our fund balance, which is our surplus, which is $2,750,000. Local revenues is $1,592,803.03. State aid, which is $1,324,815.64. Grants, $869,266.14. Library is $463,182, and collection of delinquent taxes $445,000. As far as the municipal tax rate goes, the tax rate of 0.815, it's a 0.104 or 11.32% decrease from 2022. The average residential assessment, as I said, was $378,359. The average municipal tax per residential property is $3,083.62. It's that note in red there. At a time when inflation is over 5%, the amount to be raised in taxes this budget is 2.6% increase over last year. Our water and sewer utility. Appropriations, the expenses can be broken down in the following categories. You have salary and wages, which is $1,220,325. Other expenses, $4,336,150. Debt service, $864,746.74. And statutory expenses are $232,237. The income side, the water utility revenues, you have the water sewer billings miscellaneous revenue of $6,053,458.74, and the fund balance in the water utility is $600,000. Go to the parking utility. Expenses can be broken down in the following categories, and it represents half the year. The 2023 utility budget represents one half the year, from July 1st on. Salary and wages, $120,000. Other expenses, $130,000. Debt service, $71,136. And statutory expenses, $10,000. The revenue side of the parking utility will be solely generated by parking fees, $331,136. This next slide, pretty much says it all. This is where the increases are. You see, I'm just gonna go through them. I got that. Yeah, parking fees. Flew right past. State health benefits, you see are up 14.74%. Police and fire, pension is up 8.14%. Garbage hauling and disposal, an increase of 36,000 or 7.73%. The public employee retirement system's up $22,025, 7.88%. Workers' comp insurance up $17,500, 10.17%. Other insurance up $45,500 or 28.44%. Gasoline's up $30,000 or 25%. Street lighting's up $30,000, which equates to 17.86%. Electricity's up $15,000, which is a 15% increase. And natural gas is up $30,000, which is 130.43% increase. Increase in property values. We're under the Monmouth County Assessment Demonstration Program, so property are revalued annually. You see there, in 21, net valuation taxable was $1,137,898. 22 is $1,287,415,100, and 23 is up $1,489,706,300. That breaks down basically to an increase of 42% over the last 3 years in our value in our properties. It went up 3% from. Let me get the exact numbers for you here. In 2020, the average assessed value in 2020 was $266,804. In 2021, it was $275,739 for a 3.34% increase. In 22, the average assessed value went to $320,432, which is a 16.2% increase that year, and then in 23 it's at $378,359, which is an 18.08% increase, which if you take those 3 years, it's 41.81%. So it's gone up almost 42% the value of our properties in 3 years. Okay, change in the municipal taxes. You can just see, I'm just gonna go from bottom to top and just go over to the percentages. And from 17 to 18, it was 3.026% increase. 19, 2.599%. 20, 4.949%. 21, 3.057%. 22 is up 1.785%, and this year up 2.603%. The next slide, annual surplus used in our budget. As we said, it's used to buffer the need for amount to be raised by taxes. So if you see, you start in 2017. You basically use $1,435,000 amount in surplus, which was 56.14% of our total surplus. The next year, we used 1,615,000, which was 48.966% of surplus. 19, it was 1,715,000 or 47.494%. 20, it was 1,815,000, 48.729%. 21, we used 2,050,000, which is 43.504% of our total surplus. And this year, we're using 2,750,000, which is 48.774% of our surplus, which you can see is consistent for the last 6 years, 5 years. We use the same percentage of our surplus to buffer the impact of our taxes. The average assessed value, kind of went over that, but this takes it back a little bit further. You see in 18 it was 254,883.65, and then it went to 268,09.59, and then the rest of the numbers I went over with you, but it's 2020 average assessed property was 266,803.68, and 21 it was 275,739.12. 2022 it jumped to $320,420 average assessed property, and in 23 it's 378,359.67. So if you add those 3 years, that comes to 41.31%. So where do your tax dollars go? Just some of the things that your services provided for your municipal budget. Garbage and recycling pickup, leaf and brush removal, snow plowing, road maintenance, parks and playgrounds, Lake Toponimus, recreation, arts and cultural programs, public library, fully accredited professional police department, support for our volunteer fire department, OEM emergency response, health department, animal control, senior services, public records management, elections, construction, planning and zoning, safe, clean drinking water, stormwater management, sanitary sewage removal and treatment, municipal court, code enforcement, fire safety, board of health. Some of the capital infrastructure improvements we have planned: new modern water treatment plant, annual road maintenance program, library upgrade and expansion, New Borough Hall, water and sewer, stormwater utility improvements, park and playground improvements, public work vehicles and equipment, police vehicles and equipment, fire equipment and apparatus, Lake Toponimus improvements, participatory budgeting projects, water tower maintenance, and parking lot improvements. So, we wanted to give you a quick rundown on how it all works prior to the budget hearing. We have a big crowd tonight, so we're gonna item 9 is public hearing resolution adopting the 2023 annual budget of the Borough of Freehold. So this being the public hearing, I'm going to open up to the public, but just ask that everybody be respectful of the time so everybody has a chance to talk here, and try to just get all your questions and comments all into one shot, all right? Just to make it go faster. So that being said, I'll open up to the public. Any questions on our 2023 budget?
Hello again, how you doing? I'm back again. I want to know, out of your budget, I heard everything, but I didn't hear what I wanted to hear. You know, like I selected hearing. I wanted to hear, I don't want to be disrespectful or anything about my street again, the bumpy road, the roller coaster, whatever you want to call it. I feel as though that we taxpayers are paying, but we're not receiving any kind of services. And I have a person who's been here for over the years plus 50 years or more. I'm not gonna tell her age, but anyway, she can inform you that this been going on so long that you're just overlooking the street for some reason. I go around looking at different streets and see what streets need to be repaired and which streets could be repaved and everything. And I don't think it's fair that it seems like I spoke to Mike Sweetman, or whatever I don't want to mess up his name, so I say Mike. I spoke to him and Mr. Gallo, and I found out that they said, oh, you'll be on the list next year, the year after. So every time I talk to him, it becomes another year. So I'm saying, okay, what is going on? Why is this happening? And I can't believe it. I went and got petitions from everybody from Bond Street. I went on my little scooter, I went up and down that street, knocking on doors and everything. You guys can read this when you get a chance to, but the thing about it is that I feel as though that we're all taxpayers. I'm not being technical, but we're all taxpayers. And I feel as though that, you know, at least listen to what the problem is. At least I'm concerned with, you got seniors and you expecting these young kids to be the next product? I don't think so. These young kids are not thinking about nothing but what are you going to do for them? While the seniors are, what are you going to help us with? And we need help, you know, because like I said, on my block, you got seniors, you got veterans, you got disabled people, you got scooters, and you got the sidewalk here, and you got the street down there, and when people come off that street, they're falling. We got grass on the street. What, we supposed to mow the street now? You know, so I'm just trying to figure out why we are having such a difficult problem with just trying to get that little block. It's not gonna take a lot of money to do that, just a little block. And we just wanna know why we can't have the same purpose as everyone else. If Ann would like to tell you that she's been on this block for, and
many years.
Can you come up for a minute? She can, Sharon, you know, I'm just kidding.
I just wanted to add,
Just name and address for record, even though we all know.
Ann White, 48 Bond Street. I've been on Bond Street for over 50 years.
See?
Our street has been redone one time. And actually, the guy didn't do a good job. Because we have potholes in front of every driveway.
See me riding?
And you ride into it, and when it's icy, you slide in your own driveway, and coming out too. Just that, and then when they do patch, just take the patch and blow it down and go on about the thing. And by the end of the day, half the cars that's riding on the street, they have it on their, and that stuff is hard to come off the car. Well, thank God my car's old.
Yeah, it's on my drive.
But that's all I wanted to have. Just, we do have holes. But of course, some of the cars sitting on some of the holes, but we work on the list. But when the borough allowed those 5 houses to be put on, they knocked us off the list.
And I also want to mention, before I take up your time, I also want to mention, I clean the street, and I clean where I live at, the people clean where they live. We have not yet had the people that come around and clean the streets. And I'm saying to myself, okay, what's going on with this? Now they don't want to clean the street. So, thankful everybody on that block has proud and respect for where they live at. They take care of their street, they take care of the block. If we didn't take care of it, it wouldn't get done. And the sad part about it, like I said, I don't want to be, and friends of mine come from different cities and stuff, they said, your street looks worse. And I'm like, I'll talk to you later. But anyway, like I said, I would like for us to be put on the list. I don't want to die and say it never got done. You know, I'm sitting up here with 15 heart attacks, not knowing when my next heart attack will come to see if this street is going to ever be done. When I got to look down in heaven, hopefully I'm up there, I can look down and see that the street finally got paved. I don't want to see that. I would like to, I'm the type of person I like to see things done. Don't tell me about words, don't tell me, I'm about action. I've been in the military, action is what I look at. I look at, don't tell me today, when my mother used to say, do it today, don't wait till tomorrow. So I'm not waiting for you guys to do it tomorrow. If I had the money, I would do it myself, but personally, I don't have it. But anyway, I just want to say, guys, think about this, because like I said, this is something that not only with the people that live on the block that's putting everyone weight on me, but anyway, I wrote the petition. I really went up and down these houses to do this. And I'm letting the people know, look, I got your back as long as you got mine. In the military, we always say, cover me while I move out. How am I gonna cover you when I can't move? I gotta have something to move on. So when I talk to the people, I like them to say, she's trying. She's not giving up. She's fighting for our block. And if that's what I have to do, to get you to get my attention to do what you have to do and find some money from somewhere, you know, I ain't got no teeth to put it under my pillow to think I'm gonna get thousands of dollars, but I at least like to see something. Don't keep me patching it, because you keep me patching it, I'll go higher. My bumps are getting higher, the roller coaster's getting higher. I'm not afraid of heights, but I don't want to keep going down. Unless I have a nice ride. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for taking the time and listening to me, but please listen to what I am and the people on Block Honesty are saying about please fix our bond. Because the patchwork is just piling up. It's just becoming a molehill. And you know what happens with molehill? Mountains. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. As part, since this is the budget hearing, as part of the budget, road improvements are one of them, and we have plans for Bond, Liberty, and Liberty Park, so I can tell you, I'm not gonna tell you you're on the list because you've heard that before, but you'll see action.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further public comment on the budget hearing?
Chris Velasco, 3 Phillips Road. Your presentation did not explain some of the basics. What is the parking utility? We don't have meters, so what is the parking utility?
Park?
Sure.
Where's money come from? And
This has been discussed for a long time here in the borough, the need for a new approach to managing our limited parking resources. And there are plans in place to establish a parking utility and to charge for parking in several of the borough-owned lots. The revenue source would be parking fees that people would pay when they're utilizing those spots, and that would pay for the upkeep and the maintenance, snow removal and such for those parking facilities.
okay, so then in the detailed budget that we got a month ago, Tracy handed them out. In the section under the parking utility, or rather earlier in the budget, it has that although 2022 supposedly we got 15,000 in from parking meters, that I don't know where that existed. In 2023, you're not anticipating any income from meters, but yet when you go back into the parking utility actual budget, we're paying $120,000 for salaries. Other expenses is $130,000, and which bring, but still, I don't see any revenue being projected for the parking utility, but there's a lot of expenses.
I think, first and foremost, $15,000 is anticipated permit fees that have been charged for years. People pay for parking permits at various locations.
Do you know where those locations are?
Yes, they're commuter lots, they're long-term parking lots in the market yard for employees. That's been a standard here for quite some time, where people have paid for parking permits. We are anticipating revenue from the parking utility. The equipment's been ordered, and we anticipated the startup date is July 1st, contingent upon the arrival of the parking meter equipment that's in transit.
Okay. not see anything for appropriations. So.
I think there is.
The other expenses, you had a whole slide with the other expenses included, but I'm here for the meetings and I look at, and you all say, let's pay our bills, and I see all the expenses that are being paid, and I don't think it's right to have this type of budget that can hide so many frivolous spending. So to say, just like I said, the parking utility salary is 120, 120,000, other expenses 130,000. I mean, not to be, I hear transparent a lot in these meetings. To have so much money, you have more in other expenses than you do for salaries and wages for everyone that works in the borough. That's not being transparent. We want to know what this money is going for. And your finance person should be able to break this all down. How much should be going for, postage and this and that based on years worth of data. But to hand this out and to have millions of dollars just in other and not to be accountable, I don't think that's being fair to the taxpayers, especially when our taxes are going up. So, because we know there's lots of things, lunches, trophies, food, flowers, like things like that, we see all the line items, nuts and bolts. I mean, this stuff is, they buy it piecemeal instead of bulk. So they would have it in stock, and it's more expensive that way. There are things that can be purchased in other ways to save money. I also don't see the things in here like the infrastructure improvements. And although you're saying we're spending a lot of money on the water plant, we know there's people that still have groundwater in this town. They can't drink out of their faucets. And that is not right. And there is no solution being given. So I'd like to see more transparency in this budget and know where is the money going and for what, rather than other expenses. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else in the public?
Ricky George, 124 Morris Street. Good evening.
Hey.
I want to commend you on a budget that was put together very well. I think there can be some improvements on it though. The capital budget on sheet 40B, you have under redevelopment and acquisition of property, nothing anticipated for 2023. So is redevelopment off the table in 2023?
No.
So why is it nothing in our capital budget for it?
I don't know.
The work that's going into redevelopment involves a lot of work that has to be done up front. Right now, we're anticipating proposals for the redevelopment of the hometown redevelopment area, which is located where Old Borough Hall is. Those are due in May of this year, May 17th. The mayor has recently appointed a Citizens Review Committee that will vet those proposals, look through them. There'll be public presentations that the public will be invited to hear about what the developers would like to construct at that location. But all of this takes time in terms of expenditures on our end. Once a developer is named, the bulk of the expenditures will be made by the developers, not by us.
But you have $16 million anticipated in 24 and 25 for redevelopment.
That's correct, yeah. We're part of the overall redevelopment project involves the acquisition of land and the construction of a new public safety facility.
Yeah, did you see, Asbury just had an $18 million one just for the flare outs? Whew. Thank you. Under the capital budget, also the parking lot, paving and improvements, you have $105,000 budgeted in your capital budget for 2023. Is Market Yard gonna get paid? Because I don't know if you've driven through Market Yard lately, but you break an ankle or pop a tire everywhere you go. So for $105,000 in our capital budget, how's that getting done?
The plan is initially to pave McGacken, which was completed, and we're right in the middle of a survey being conducted at the Market Yard to determine the meets and boundaries of the property that we own, and then a job will be commissioned to resurface the parking lot.
So is it fair to say then that with parking meters that are supposed to be coming on board on 7/1, you're gonna be spending all that money to remark everything and then have to redo it again when you do the Market Yard?
I don't think that there'll be any large expense to remark the lot. We can do that ourselves in-house.
But it would have to be done twice.
Sure. You know, if you resurface the lot, yes.
Thank you. Parking utility, what rents does the parking utility collect? On sheet 31, it says $331,000 is anticipated for rents.
I'm assuming that's revenue from parking meters. That's the sole source of revenue for the parking utility.
So it should be parking meters, thank you. Salaries and wages also, $120,000, so how many people are we hiring for that?
There'll be 4 enforcement officers and 1 part-time director of the utility.
On sheet 32B, you have $68,400 appropriated under the parking utility for the payment of bond anticipation notes, as well as $2,736 for the interest on the notes. You have no notes outstanding in your financial statement. So what are we paying there?
That is for the debt service, that was done through capital. And we're gonna raise it in the parking utility for future payments.
So this was the parking ordinance that you put in general capital that the taxpayers paid for, and now you're gonna try to pay it back, right?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. The water sewer utility. In 2022, you increased your surplus by $587,000. You're anticipating another $600,000 in surplus. You also have $640,000 in appropriation reserves that you know you're gonna rebuild that $600 for already. Yet you still increased the water sewer rates by 1.5% for the consumer this year. In a time that you spoke about the inflation and everything, and everybody's struggling out there doing it, you still increase rates for your water sewer when water sewer is really fat. Why?
I would disagree with you that the water sewer utility is flush with cash. We just made an $8 million investment, and now we have to pay it back.
That's capital. That's over the life of the issue. That's not the current. So that's not the question. But the rates itself right now, you're very fat in water sewer. So why would you raise them at a time that you speak about people are struggling out there? It was 1.5% that you could have just let it go. But you took it upon yourselves to continue on with that. And such a bad economy, inflation. Your current fund budget, you're anticipating a $2.75 million, which is a $700,000 increase for surplus. How do you plan on sustaining that budget?
New and recurring revenue streams, correct?
Which include what?
Funds from future redevelopment. As I explained earlier, we anticipate awarding a contract to a developer to redevelop the hometown redevelopment area. Certainly, there'll be an increase in property tax revenue from that project. Depending upon how it's structured, we anticipate it could be upwards of $1 million additional a year. There'll also be new revenue sources, and it's important to note that these are reoccurring revenue sources, not just the one shot. And there'll be money coming in from cannabis sales, so the 2.5% sales tax that we're authorized by law to collect, as well as shifting some of the costs that are borne now by the taxpayers onto the parking utility.
Do we anticipate any revenue from cannabis in this budget?
I believe we do.
To the tune of what number?
Kathy says we didn't.
At least we haven't anticipated it.
We haven't anticipated anything on the cannabis thing. You're using on sheets 9 and 10, $836,000 plus in the American Rescue Plan funds to balance this budget. What's the plan after this year, when those funds are no longer around?
Those funds are being used for items that don't reoccur, such as purchase of vehicles, replacement of equipment. So we won't purchase vehicles next year with those monies.
$236,000 isn't purchasing vehicles, it's an operating expense.
Okay.
So how are we gonna punish that?
From additional new reoccurring revenue sources.
Additional revenues again. Okay. Page 12, business administrator salaries and wages is going up $19,000. It's a 10.6% increase. What were raises this year?
In my contract, I believe it was a $5,000 raise.
10.6% though is the line item. Why is it going up so much?
Well, there's an additional employee who came in last year after the beginning of the year. It's now in there for the full year. There's some step increases for anniversaries, 2.75 for salary increases.
How many people are in that line item?
5 people.
5 people are in the business administrator line item for a $199,000 line item? What does Mr. Gallo make?
They're allocated between current fund and water sewer.
Thank you. Business administrator, other expense line item of $204,350. What's included in that?
Most of the usual operating expenses, as well as consulting. There's a line in there for consulting.
How much is the line item for consulting?
$195,000.
And that entails which consultants?
I'm sorry?
Consulting?
Yeah. It includes the consultants that we have working on our financial plan and our attorneys and engineer consultants as well.
So if you have the people for the financial plan there, what's the line item for legal and engineering being utilized for? If you're telling me you have attorneys and engineers in that line item also?
I think that the consulting line is more for your planners, you have a planner in there, the grant professionals.
All right, I'm mistaken. It was for the planner that we have on board as well as Millennium Strategies. We pay them a fee every year, and they bring back easily over $1 million a year. It's a good investment, as well as our financial consultants.
Thank you. Central functions, increase of 53.6%.
That's largely entailed due to postage. The postage rates have gone up. We pay for our copier costs now also have increased. All of our basic day-to-day operations for most of our departments.
That's a big increase of 54%.
The postage has really been doing a number on us. It's, I think, 55 cents now. that July 1st.
Thank you. Sheet 14, legal fees. Between 2022 and 2023, legal fees have been $657,500. Between 2017 and 2021, you spent $537,000 in 5 years. What are we doing with legal fees?
We're doing a lot with legal fees.
Well, I see that.
I'm glad you do. As mentioned previously, we have some major redevelopment projects that are underway that we need redevelopment council to work with us on. We have the ins and outs of cannabis nuances that we have to deal with the state and getting those licensees awarded and up and running. We have labor that we had a number of issues we had to have special counsel on, as well as litigation for affordable housing that is finally getting wrapped up. It should be behind us soon. So there's a few things out there that are going on, and we're also actually doing things and accomplishing things. And I think the fruits of the work that we're doing will bear fruit later on this year, and we'll see that the benefits of the redevelopment project will be myriad for taxpayers.
Sheet 15B, road repair and maintenance, salaries and wages. Why are they dropping $95,000?
We had a couple employees unfortunately pass away last year, and another one left, and we have some new employees that are coming in at entry level. And I also reduced overtime costs based on the prior years. There was some excess in there that I felt we didn't need to budget for.
Thank you. We also have an appropriation, for public parking lots as well for $14,000. Yet we set up the utility. Why are we still charging the taxpayer for the public parking lots?
It's a transitional phase at this point that we have to have some revenue. We're not up and running yet.
Thank you. 15D, the Senior Citizens Program. Since 2017, we've budgeted $5,200 for our senior citizens. And I look at 2023, and you've reduced it to $4,000. What are we doing for our senior citizens for those small amounts?
We have a transportation program that we perform, as well as several events during the course of the year. The reduction in the amount allocated would be because prior years we didn't spend the full amount.
Sheet 27A, debt service, increasing $402,000. That's all for interest. Not a principal payment included in there for all the outstanding debt. Come next year, the principal payments on your debt are going to increase by at least $260,000 in 2024, and another $360,000 at a minimum in 2025, irrespective of the interest rates that are going to be going up. But the taxpayers are picking up right now. You can offset that with a revenue that was received during the year from your note sale that took place. It has to do with the premium that we received for $128,000. The person who bought your notes paid you a premium to reduce your net interest costs. That $128,000 is sitting in general capital. It should be brought over as revenue right now to offset the $400,000 increase in the note cost, to reduce and benefit the taxpayer right now. So you should consider that before you go and try to adopt this budget. A few things that the mayor mentioned in his speech at the introduction meeting that I just want to point out. I'm not quite sure what you meant by despite a reduction in personnel. Well, in 2019, we had 71 full-time people. In 2023, we have 75. We had 47 part-time employees in 2019. We have 62 in 2023. So I'm not sure what the reduction in personnel is. And our finance department is meeting all the demands placed on them. So was that just for the finance office, or was that for the whole town? Your comment.
Finance office.
Well, the finance office that I understand has 2 full-time employees. It hadn't had 2 full-time employees in 11 years. So that's an increase.
Basically, one person used to float. Oh, that person's not doing that anymore.
You also mentioned that with the parking utility, there'll still be over 1,000 free parking spaces in the downtown area. Where's those 1,000 free parking spaces?
Around the perimeter.
Perimeter of what?
There's 1,500 spots in the core downtown. 500 in the immediate core are gonna be paid. The other 1,000, as we knew it, were gonna be free.
Thank you. And then, I think that's it, other than the fact that, the resolution you did before the public hearing, whereas the local municipal budget for 2023 was approved on the 3rd day of April 2023, and whereas the public hearing on said budget has been held as advertised, you violate the statute. The public hearing hadn't been held yet you adopted a resolution before you had the public hearing. It's a violation of the statute. I'm just pointing that out to you.
That was
You did
sent
not-
to DCA and approved. So
The amendment might be approved, but the amendment needs to be done after the public hearing.
I have something in writing saying that it should have been done before the public hearing.
Okay, I stand corrected then. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Anyone else from the public?
Hi, Caroline Brilliante, 7 Edgewood. I'm a little overwhelmed by everything I just heard, but I do want to say this. I guess as a citizen, with inflation, as we're discussing, prices are going up in everything. As most residents are having to do, we're having to cut back. And all I'm hearing is the town increasing the budget instead of cutting back like every other human being has to do in this time. And I'm very concerned because I hear that, from what I understand, maybe I'm wrong, but we are anticipating revenues from parking and from cannabis sales that we have been working on for years and for a long time and hoping it's gonna come to fruition, but they haven't come to fruition yet. And we're anticipating all this money in our budget, it's not even there yet. And like I said, my concern is that as the borough and the council, you're not taking the same steps every other person in the town is taking to trim their budget, see where costs can be cut, instead of increasing the budget and hoping and wishing for parking and cannabis fees to come in July. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
I do have one more comment. Chris Velasco, 3 Phyllis Road. She had just said, people are having a hard time making ends meet. My neighbor at 26 Phyllis died in February with not having access to his phone. He was old phone, like, he didn't have a cell phone, all he had was a phone, no answering machine, he was old school, no phone, cable got shut off, and he couldn't pay his taxes for 2 quarters. Today, that property is now 3 quarters behind. He died in February, asking neighbors for money for food. because his only income is Social Security. How many other senior citizens do we have in this town that rely on Social Security and they're living in the homes they grew up in and they can't afford their taxes anymore? And they can't afford food. You have to trim the budget down and you have to think about the people that live here and especially the longtime residents. They're not making it. And it's sad that he died alone and you know, he couldn't even afford to eat. That's all I want to say.
Thank you. Anyone else in public?
Seeing no further comment from the public, I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Schultze? Yes.
Okay, the public hearing is closed. I have a resolution adopting the 2023 annual budget of the Borough of Freehold.
Move it.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Schultze? Yes.
Okay, the 2023 annual budget of the Borough of Freehold is adopted. Item 10 is our consent agenda. Just a note that matters listed under the items of consent agenda required to conduct the day-to-day operation of the borough and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If the discussion is desired of any items, that item will be considered separately. Someone like to move consent agenda items CR1 through CR8?
Yes, I'll move those.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Yes. I want to say that CR1, a resolution of the mayor and council of the Borough of Freehold honoring the Reverend Ronald Sparks in his ministry of 10 years, on his 10-year anniversary at Bethel, was presented to the pastor at a service on April the 23rd. And we have at least one member of that congregation here tonight, so we say congratulations for those very productive 10 years. Also, CR3, I want to very sincerely commend Jimmy Quinn for his 50th anniversary serving the Freehold Fire Department. If I may say so personally, I can't believe that Jimmy Quinn is 50 years old, much less that he has done 50 years of volunteer service. So we certainly thank Jimmy Quinn, along with all of his brothers and sisters in the fire department, for their years of service. I wanted to point out that CR4, canceling and refunding of tax charges, is for a disabled vet. And the Scouts, it's CR2. We have 2 Scouts who have received the Eagle Scout Award, and we have resolutions in their honor. The young man by the name of Parker Rose did as his project removing and rebuilding the wormwood fencing located behind the Oakley Farmhouse, historic farm in the township, and using aged wood to maintain the historic value of the property. And we have Borough resident Michael Koch, who also received his Eagle Scout Award, and he inspired, I love this, inspired by his love of history, he led a dozen scouts to tear down the old Billio, am I saying that correctly? What is it? Oh, Bilco, excuse me. Need new glasses. Door for the bakery at the historic Allaire Village, and rebuilt it, a new one for his Eagle Scout project. So we certainly congratulate all of those folks on the job well done.
Any further comments? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Schutzer? Yes.
Okay, consent agenda items CR1 through CR8 adopted. It's the end of our consent agenda. Item 11 is the approval of bills.
I move that we pay our bills.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, our bill list is approved. Item 12, our public comments. If anyone from the public care to address the governing body with a comment, please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Christine from West George Street. As all of you know, last Friday, April 28th, was the real Arbor Day in the state of New Jersey. On Thursday, April 27th, Shade Tree Commission members and myself presented the program at Park Avenue School for the 5th graders. I want to publicly acknowledge Councilwoman Rogers, who read the proclamation from the borough and council. The children were thrilled because they got to keep something really official. I'm sorry that you weren't able to attend, Councilwoman Jordan, but I know that you were there in spirit. I want to thank Tracy for giving me the proclamations that I could take to the program and for having the Arbor Day proclamation on the agenda from the last council. I want to thank the local merchants who donated unbelievable prizes this year. In all the years I've been doing this, and by the way, we haven't had the program since 2019 because of COVID, and the children weren't allowed to assemble. So for me, this was an uplift. Mateo's, Federici's, Brooklyn Bagel and Deli, Cafe 360, Jersey Freeze, Rita's, and Sweet Lou's. I also want to thank members of the Shade Tree Commission who donated their own funds to help get us the prizes. We had 55 posters this year that the children drew, which is an all-time record. 17 of them actually won the prizes, and they were all thrilled. I want to thank Mike Sweetman for putting my Tree USA flag up. It's on the pole tonight. If you go out, you can see it. That means a lot to me. I want to thank Bobby Lithgow for planting the tree that day, and also for his personal contribution to the prizes as well. This year's been a little tough for me. On March 29th, I fell and broke my wrist. So planning the program and giving it actually was a boost for my mental health, and I really enjoyed doing it. And I hope that from now on, I'll be able to do it every year without a broken wrist. But thank you all. The children had such a good time. We had a lot of parents and siblings come. And I want to thank Mrs. Brooke Shaw from Park Avenue Intermediate, who runs the 21st Century After School Program. And if I forgot anyone else tonight, almost, sorry. Thank you to the PBA for donating the $25 gift card to Rita's. Whoops, sorry, it was in here. Anyway, but I had such a wonderful time, and the children thanked me, and I'm telling you, I miss my children as a crossing guard, because I've seen them in town, and some of them were there at the program on Thursday, and that really meant a lot to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public care to make a comment?
Marianne Early, 9 Broad Street. I find it curious, after going through the budget the way you did, with all the comments that were made, the council still voted to approve the budget. Is it unthinkable that the council would sit down and review the budget again to see if there were any changes that could be made? I don't know if this is policy, not policy or what, but with all the people that had rather emotional presentations to say, I passed the budget. That to me says what we said out here meant nothing. No comment?
And this is a comment period, so it's your
Oh,
comment.
okay, so I say that and nobody says anything anyway, whatever.
Thank you. Any
So moved.
Second. Roll call?
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Shelter?
Yes.
Okay, public comment is closed. Item 13, council comments. Start off with Council President Benedetto.
Yes, thank you everyone for coming out tonight. We did hear your words tonight, and they will be digested, and possibly there may be some changes. But we did hear everything you had to say tonight. I'd like to congratulate Reverend Sparks. It was a beautiful service. Most of us were there to celebrate his 10 years. To Parker Rose and Michael Koch, congratulations on your Eagle Scout Award. And I'd like to give a personal shout out to Councilman Schnurr. He's taken this upon himself for many, many years to be there for the kids and represent Freehold Borough. So I'd like to give a little shout out to George. Job well done. Thank you. To my brother fireman, Jimmy Quinn, congratulations. I've been there for more than 50% of his 50 years, so I can't believe he has 50 years in either. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you.
And one more thing, you'll notice the clock is down. It's progress in motion, and I'm sure, Adam, you'll speak to that through HBC. Okay.
Thank you. Councilwoman Jordan.
Thank you. A couple things going on. Recreation is sponsoring Glory Days baseball in our hometown. It's going to be this Friday evening here in the council chambers. Glenn Cashin will be discussing the history of baseball in Freehold Borough from 1857 through 1973. So all are welcome. Come on in, light refreshments. There'll be an exhibit in the hallway that will be there for a couple months if you'd like to come in and take a look. Following day, there's going to be at Lincoln Field, we're going to be having a vintage baseball game. Recreation will have a lot of different vintage games for the family. The Knights of Columbus are going to come out and sell some hot dogs and hamburgers, and we're going to have the Monmouth Furnace versus the Harrisburg Keystones playing to 1864 rules. So it's going to be a fun day. So fun days coming out. Friday night event starts at 7. The event at at Lincoln Field starts at 11:30. So everybody's welcome to come on out. Recreation is also doing their annual garage sale. It's going to be on the 13th of May. If you'd still like to get on the map and participate on that, tomorrow's the deadline. All the forms are under forms and documents online. You just go on there, fill it out, and send it over to Sasha, and she'll get you on the map. Let's see what else we got going on. Summer camp. Recreation summer camp is now accepting applications for kids. Camp's going to run June 26th this year through July 28th. It's going to be for 3rd to 8th graders as of September 2023. So if you'd like to get your child registered, again, you can just go online. It's under events. You can fill out the application and just send it right over to Sasha. We're also hiring summer camp counselors, ages 16 and up. So if you know of any teenagers that'd like to get a summer job, they can apply online as well. Participatory budgeting, the forms are up online right now. Again, you can go onto the PB page for accepting proposals for projects for this year. You can just fill them out, hit the button, and it'll go right over to the Participatory Budgeting Committee. Old Freehold Day, it's back in the pond. That's going to be Saturday, August 5th from 12 to 5 p.m. Right now, they're accepting vendor applications, and everything's coming together. And just one more thing, I know you guys know that there was horrible rain this weekend, so the Food Truck Festival was rescheduled to June 25th. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Reich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for everybody for coming out this evening. We do hear you, but just as the process to put forth the budget that was adopted tonight took a long time to review and put together, it's something that's going to take some time to review the comments that were made to see how they can be implemented and where they can be implemented. So while we may not have taken immediate action tonight, don't think that your comments went unnoticed and unlistened to. We will be working on it, and as we work on it every single year throughout the entire year to make this a wise and fiscal budget that continues to move us forward. In regards to the clock that Councilman Di Benedetto mentioned, the clock on 1 West Main Street at the corner of the bank was taken down earlier this week by Jim LaPointe. He spent about 12 hours or so taking it down piece by piece, stacking it up, and he's going to be working on repairing it, replacing it, and hopefully making it even better. I don't know if we'll make it truck-proof again, but at least we'll, at some point in time in the near future, we'll get it back up, and it'll be that nice clock downtown. The NPP grant, the Half Mile of Horses program, is back this year, and the deadline for submissions has been extended to May 12th. As a former participant, I can tell you that it was really awesome being selected to have my horse design come to life. It was a lot of hard work. I was totally unprepared. I can tell you that should you ever paint a 3x3 horse with spray paint, don't do it. But it was a lot of fun, and it was really cool to see the horses downtown and be part of that program. So whether you're an inspiring artist or a professional artist or anywhere in between, put together a submission, send it in. It doesn't take that very long, and you might get surprised and find a horse sitting in your garage for about 6 or 7 weeks, staring at you to be painted every single night. The Human Relations Advisory Commission meets this Thursday evening at 6 p.m. We are working on new lawn signs which will be promoting equity, kindness, and goodwill. And we hope to have that program up and running and out to the residents by June. We're also going to be talking about participating in a couple of the upcoming events that are starting to happen. Specifically, the next one on our radar is the Juneteenth events being held on June 18th and 19th at the Hall of Records and the Court Street School. Other than that, I just want to say in regards to the Shade Tree Commission and Arbor Day, I can see a lot of the trees that were planted in the past couple of years starting to bud, and they're very pretty to look at. Especially driving on Ellis Street, there's some fuchsia buds on them, and I love seeing the fact that they're starting to bear flowers and whatnot. It's a really cool, nice addition to the neighborhood. So I thank the Shade Tree Commission for that, and that's everything I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Rogers.
Thank you. I also want to extend my congratulations to Reverend Sparks. I was not able to make the service, but I worked with him on several projects, so I know how much he gives to this community, and I congratulate him on his 10-year anniversary. I also want to commend the Shade Tree Commission, particularly Christine, on the work they did on the Arbor Day program. The children were so thrilled. Thrilled is an understatement, really. They were so excited, and then they got to go and see the tree that was planted at the school for Arbor Day. I also, as Christine did, congratulate Brooke Shaw on bringing the program together, and Superintendent Joe Howe on his contributions to the program. They really did an outstanding job, and what a lot of people don't know about the Shade Tree Commission is we don't just meet every third Thursday. They are out there on the weekends watering trees, putting bamboo poles up, making sure the trees survive, inventorying trees that have not survived over the winter so that they can be replaced. They really do a lot for this community, and I commend them for that because it's, we're not young, and they get out there and they do what they have to do to protect our trees and to help them survive. So I thank them for that. I do want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, for the comments you made on the budget. We have reviewed this budget many, many times. It's not just like we present it and then we let it sit and then we come and approve it. We have gone over this budget extensively, and I commend our CFO, Kathy, on all the work that she put in, all the hours that she put in to make sure that we were coming forth with a fair and reasonable budget. It may not sound like it to everyone, but we have reviewed and cut where we could cut and put a lot of thought into this budget to make sure it's a viable budget for the residents and for the town. We're all residents here as well. So it's in our best interest, well as yours, to make sure that it's a viable and reasonable budget. We understand the pressures due to inflation and, you know, the job market and things like that. And, you know, as we move forward, we are always considering those things. So again, thank you, Kathy, thank you, Steve, for all the work that you put into this budget. I think we came up with a reasonable budget. As far as the transparency of the bills that we pay and the costs that we do, I review these bills every week. Yeah, every time. I sign the invoices for the bill, I question why we are paying certain bills. So it is not just arbitrarily, you know, we're just accepting that these bills are paid. These bills are reviewed extensively. Questions are asked, and we're trying to, you know, rein in the costs where we can and find other ways of doing things that are cost effective. Sometimes we're able to do this, and sometimes we're not able to do this. You know, based on the fact that we're a municipality. So, you know, I will continue to do that going forward. I will continue to ask questions, and I will continue to rely on my fellow council members to help figure out ways that we can continue to reduce costs. And the last thing I want to mention is on last Thursday, on April 27th, we closed out our Freehold Borough pitch competition. And we had 4 of the people who completed the program come and do their final presentations, and they were critiqued, and it was just really a really exciting night. The fact that they started with one idea and ended up with different ideas in most cases, but the fact that they, you know, thought through how they were going to present these ideas, how they were going to bring these businesses to life, was really wonderful. So with the permission of the BA and the mayor, I've invited them to the May 15th council meeting to present them with proclamations for completing the program, and you know, so that we can all celebrate with them, since many of us were not able to make it out for that evening. So again, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Schneider.
Thank you, Mayor Kane. Well, again, thanks everybody for coming out tonight. The budget presentation for this evening was excellent. It would be my hope that the BA, the CFO would continue this in future years. I think this is a good practice, and I commend all of them for putting this thing together. The second thing, Councilman Benedetto, thank you very much for your comment regarding the Scouts. Since 2007, I think there's about 50, almost 50 Scouts. It's important for elected officials to go to these Eagle Scout Court of Honors, because, you know, it's important that the kids know that people care about what they're doing. These kids are really, when you look at for example, Parker Rose, his older brother is an Eagle Scout as well, and he's now working for the Sheriff's Department. So these are the kind of kids that you might be getting, it's really quite an honor for me to go to these things. The other thing I'd like to mention is that, you know, Reverend Sparks on his 10th anniversary, that was a nice day, and I'm glad I went. I'm glad I was able to go. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the Memorial Day parade activities, I'm asking Tracy Benedetto to put that on the next council meeting, and we can have a discussion on that, all the different things we're doing for Elks Point as well as the parade. There was a recommendation on
Thank you. Councilwoman Schutz.
Yes. Tuesdays in May, the Monmouth County Health Department will be providing free vaccinations and free COVID testing from 4 to 6 in the evenings right here on Main Street at their building. It is a first come, first served basis, and there is no cost to the individual. The McGackin Awards, honoring Volunteer of the Year Gene Holtz, and the Businessman of the Year, the late Marvin Harris, and the group We Are the Future will be held on May 19th. On the table outside, I have left some ticket orders, some information, some ad orders for the ad journal. Anything out there can be filled in and dropped off here at Borough Hall to the clerk's office. And I'll see to it that you receive your tickets. And congratulations, Gene. And to Marvin. Marvin did know before he passed that he was being honored. So we were happy about that. The Alliance to Prevent Substance Abuse Golf Outing will be held on May 22nd at Battleground. $250 for golfers. We can use golfers, basket items, or sponsorships. Same thing is true of McGackin. We'll take basket items for that too. I want to personally thank CFO Kathy Caruso and anybody who helped her along the way for your work on the budget. We appreciate that. Kathy's always accessible to us when we have questions about the budget. I also want to express our sincere condolences to the family of Connie LaPlaca, who was 100 years old. Long time resident of Freehold Borough. Lovely lady, lovely life, and God bless her. So to her family, we express our condolences. Thank you.
Thank you. I also too like to thank everyone for coming out this evening. And I too want to thank our CFO, Kathy Caruso, and our administrator, Steve Gallo, and actually all our department heads. You know, all the department heads have input into the budget with the help of Mary Ann Kenny and Pat Berg. Did a great job with this budget. And we also, I mean, just to let you know that behind the scenes, there's ongoing review and guidance provided by our expert consulting firm, Government Strategies Group. And the senior managing director, Al Steinberg, who formerly served as director of New Jersey's Division of Local Government Services and served as the chairman of the local finance board, worked very closely with our team to ensure the soundness of our fiscally responsible budget. So it wasn't just our team. I mean, there was the guy that basically ran the place for the state for years, for everybody's budget, looked at this and approved this budget. So when the vote was taken and it was unanimously adopted, everyone had confidence in this budget. And our plan, and one more thing too, it was submitted within the timelines, the guidelines that the state provided. You know, we introduced it and adopted it within the state guidelines, which a lot of municipalities don't do it. It's always late, so our budget was on time. And the plan for us is to continue to drive our economic climate forward. You know, it's the plan we're working, and we're going to keep on working it. And it's proven dividends already. It's going to just get better as time goes on. We have to go into exec session tonight to talk about a couple issues. And when we come out, we'll come out to close the meeting, but no business will be transacted. So item 14 this evening on the agenda is a resolution authorizing a meeting not open to the public in accordance with provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12B7, contract negotiations. Someone like to move that?
I'll move that.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Stelter?
Yes.
Okay, resolution, item 14 is adopted, so we're now going to executive, we're gonna come out and close the meeting, but like I said, no business will be transacted. So thank you very much, have a good evening, everyone.
Joe?